Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Learn with GRV. So today we are going to understand Indian Councils Act of 1892 and we are doing this from the book Indian Polity, which is written by M. Lakshmikant, and this will also help you to prepare for UPSC. So now let us look that what were the features of the Act of 1892, which was also called Indian Councils Act of 1892. So the first feature was that it increased the number of additional non-official members in the central and provincial legislative councils, but maintained the official majority in them. Now, like we have seen in the previous videos in the Act of 1861, Lord Canning, who was the viceroy at that time, he had nominated 3 Indians to his legislative council, that is Raja of Benares, the Maharaja of Patiala, and Sir Dinkan Rao. So what has happened in this act is that they are increasing the number of non-official members in the central as well as in the provincial councils. The second feature was this act also increased the functions of legislative councils and gave them the power of discussing budget and addressing questions to the executive. And now remember, the concept of budget was introduced by the Britishers in the year 1860. Moving on. The third feature of this act was nomination of some, it provided for nomination of some official non-members to the Central Legislative Council by the recommendation of, so it was by the Viceroy on the recommendation of the Provincial Legislative Councils and the Bengal Chamber of Commerce. Let us understand this point once again. This act also provided for the nomination of some non-official members of the Central Legislative Council. So if we have to nominate members in the Central Legislative Council, it will be done by the Viceroy, but it will be done by on the recommendation of the Provincial Legislative Councils and the Bengal Chamber of Commerce. And the fourth point was, if we have to nominate some non-official members to the Provincial Legislative Councils, that will be done by the governors on the recommendation of district board, municipalities, universities, trade associations, zamindars and chambers. Okay, so I'll go through point 3 and 4 once again. If you want to nominate somebody into the Central Legislative Council as a non-official member, that will be done by the Viceroy. If you want to nominate somebody to the Provincial Legislative Council, that will be done by the governor. Now in first case, when the Viceroy is nominating you for Central Legislative Council, it will be done on the recommendation of Provincial Legislative Councils and Bengal Chamber of Commerce. But in case of Provincial Legislative Councils, you will be nominated by the governor on the recommendation of district boards, municipalities, universities, trade associations, zamindars and chambers. Now one more important aspect of this act was that this act made a limited and indirect provision for the use of election in filling up some non-official seats in the central and legislative council, in the provincial legislative councils. So this act did use the concept of election for filling up positions in the central legislative council and the provincial legislative council. But this act did not use the term election. It had used the term nomination, which was based on the recommendation of certain bodies. So this was about the Indian Councils Act of 1892. Let's go through the point once again. First, it increased the number of additional non-official members in the central and provincial legislative councils, but maintained the official majority in them. Second, it increased the functions of legislative councils and gave them the power of discussing budget and addressing questions to the executive. And we know the concept of budget was introduced by the Britishers in the year of 1860. It provided for the nomination of some non-official members of the Central Legislative Council by the Viceroy on the recommendation of Provincial Legislative Councils and the Bengal Chamber of Commerce. Fourth point, and if somebody is to be nominated to Provincial Legislative Councils, that will be done by the governor on the recommendation of district boards, municipalities, universities, trade associations, zamindars and chambers. So that's it for this video. If you like my work, you can subscribe to the channel, like the video and leave your comments so that I can improve the quality of the content in the next videos. Thank you for watching. This is Gaurav Singh signing off. Have a good day.